Alright, so there ain't much power left on me camera. So I'm right now, I'm reading, Brittany Renner's book. And I'm gonna do a full book review, probably in the next couple of days. But, right now, I'm just on the first chapter. And I'm having some pretty crazy reactions to what's going on here, man. So set the stage. So where I'm at so far is she's in college now. She's going to an HBU, and she meets this guy. She names him Seth. I don't know if that's his real name or not. And he's dating this girl named Jean. Now, here's the thing that's interesting. So she's cheating with Seth. Seth is cheating on Jean with Brittany, right? That's what's currently happening right now. But there's something really interesting about her language here that is really interesting to me. I just said interesting twice. I've noticed that as I'm reading this, and you wouldn't know because you haven't read it unless you read it, reader. But she has very flowery. That's not the word I'm looking for. But she uptalks Seth quite a bit. Now I'm pretty sure she's building him up to set up a fall because I'm pretty sure a fall is coming eventually. But there's something interesting about her diction when it comes to Jean. Now she's never met Jean, or at least she hasn't met Jean up to the point where I'm reading. But she dogs Jean out quite a bit. But notice what I just said, reader. What's going on here? She is cheating with Seth. Jean is the main bitch. Brittany's the side bitch. And in this book, currently as I'm reading it now, she's dogging Jean out like Jean did some shit to her. Let me read some of this, right? This is crazy to me. She said, Jean came down to visit on one of her school breaks. Prior to her arrival, you told me I wouldn't be hearing from you since you'd be spending time with her. Let me go back just a second. Let me just go back so you can hear the juxtaposition. You and Jean took to each other's virginity. So with my track record, I was at a disadvantage in terms of fitting the perfect girlfriend criteria. I was younger than you, but you had more bodies, which you would frequently remind me of how bad that made me look. It was impossible to compete with Miss Goody Two-Shoes and her untainted pussy. I was trashy, yet she was the one being cheated on. Virgin Mary's box could not have been that divine if you couldn't resist mine. Now, notice something interesting here, reader. She is the villain of the tale. She is not the hero. And yet, despite the fact that she's the one doing wrong, somehow she has this ire against Jean, like Jean did some shit to her, right? She's over here insulting Jean like Jean has slighted her in some way by her existence. I never thought I would be someone's other woman. Now pay attention to this. I knew I was better than being the side chick, but I was too enamored with the possibilities of what my life could be with you. In my heart, I didn't think you wanted to cheat either. You were just unhappy in your relationship, but didn't quite know how to get out of it. I should have won an award for Side Piece of the Century for all the little things that I did. When Jean called, I would quietly leave the room. Sometimes I would kiss you on your neck to distract you from whatever she was blabbing about. I love that I can make you smile. Again, notice the juxtaposition here. Jean, the woman that has done nothing to her, gets this crap talked out of her. Seth, whoever, God's gift to the earth, this nigga must be. This nigga must be Adonis or some shit. God dang, Apollo, maybe. Son of Apollo over here. All she does is uptalk him. So I'm guessing that there has to be a fall coming here. I think that's why she's uptalking him so much. But we'll see. I'm just going to keep reading a little bit more. She goes, Jean came down to visit on one of her school breaks. Prior to her arrival, you told me I wouldn't be hearing from you since you'd be spending time with her. I stayed in my dorm room those few days while you shared our bed with that bitch. Nigga. Nigga, what? It's killing me. This is a great source of comedy. My roommate asked me what was going on because my being there was a rarity. So I told her. After I explained what was transpiring, she suggested that I cut you off completely or text your phone in hopes that Jean would see. Why is that? No, it's cut him off completely. There should not be a let me confront with Jean. Okay, whatever. Neither of those ideas crossed my mind. The thought of losing you made me sick to my stomach. I had no loyalty to Jean. She was the enemy. She had what I wanted, and if I thought I would leave your life without a fight, she was sadly mistaken. I was on the yellow brick road heading to war for you. I was patient, and besides, she was going back home soon. Over what felt like the slowest days what felt like the slowest days known to mankind, I grew angry with each hour I had to spend in my dorm away from your love. I hated not talking to you. Why was I being so cooperative? Why was I playing my role so well? How did I get here? You ain't got no father, that's how you got here. My roommate had left for my tournament that weekend, so I had our humble abode all to myself. From our window, I could see the dorm where your teammates stayed and you often visited. You always parked in the same spot, so I was periodically checking to see your car. This is getting to be a bit much. Quite the freaking puppy. God damn. I had a cross necklace I occasionally wore when I felt temporarily wholesome somehow. I don't know how that works. I walked over to my desk in tears, found the necklace, and removed the pendant. I got my straightener out from under my desk and turned it on. I was sitting in my chair and I caught a glimpse of my reflection in my vanity mirror. I hated how you made me feel. I placed the pendant on my straightener to heat it up for a few minutes and pressed the cross into my foot. What the fuck? Wait, what? I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at the fact that she harmed herself. I'm laughing at how extreme we got. Like, I'm also laughing because it makes me uncomfortable, and that's what I do when I'm uncomfortable. But I did not see that coming. I placed the pendant on my straightener to heat it up for a few minutes and pressed the cross into my flesh. The burning pain was such a relief to me. I knew I deserved to hurt. I got myself into this, and I needed to be punished. I lost count of the number of times I repeated this, but by the time I finished, my skin had wilted. But the burning sensation didn't distract me from the overwhelming sadness that lingered over my heart. I was hurting, Seth. You hurt me. After all the time we spent together, countless laughs, and in-depth conversations, it all meant nothing to you when you were with her. Well, no shit. You were a pitiful excuse for a man with your corrupted double life. This is true, but, I mean, you're not the hero of this tale, man. When my roommate returned, she immediately noticed my self-inflicted burn. She tried to reason with me, saying that there wasn't any man alive worth this agony. But who the fuck was she? She didn't know you like I did. I didn't want to argue. I simply wiped my eyes and thanked her for her advice. I even entertained the thought of leaving you alone like it was an actual option. It wasn't. You were mine, and I was determined to have you forever. I think this was the moment I knew I was in love with you. Man, you don't know what love is, man, because you didn't have a strong father figure in your life. Ugh. Like I said, man, I'm going to read the rest of this book. But that's just an excerpt, man. I got a long way to go. I just did not see that coming. And this is my honest reaction, man. So, I don't know, come back in a couple of days. Like, the book's not long, man. Like, I'll show you guys. I can't show you the cover. We'll get into why I can't show you the cover in the review. But, yeah, like, the book, it's not, you know what I mean. I'll be done with it in, like, probably the next 2 days, and I'll get a full review out. But right now, man, I just wanted to share this with you guys, man. You guys, you know, if you enjoyed today's video, please, man, go and click the like button. And shoot, go and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. As always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.